Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I have a small haul and unboxing for you guys today because I was a good girl and I have not been buying very much, so I have actually a very reasonable size haul. Don't get me wrong, there's still 3 book outlet boxes floating around out there, but they're not going to get here before I leave, so I figured I would do a little haul of what I have before I leave for you guys. All right, first I got a couple of books from Barnes & Noble. I got them like a month ago. I got them before my husband left for deployment because he wanted a couple of books. So I bought him a few books and I bought myself a few books too because, you know, I needed to do that. So the first thing I got was Umberland by Wendy Spinelli. This is the sequel to Everland, and Ozland just came out. It is like a twist on Alice in Wonderland. I have not read the first one yet. I still really want to. I just haven't gotten to it yet, so soon. So this is Daughter of the Pirate Queen. It is the sequel to the Daughter of the Pirate King, and it is good so far. I like it. I'm about 25% of the way through it. I am listening to it. I could be physically reading it, but I'm not. I'm listening to it. And the woman has got an amazing accent, and I think it kind of blends well to the pirate theme, but I like it a lot. It's really cute. I'll tell you more about it in June, or my June wrap up when I get that far, because it's just now June 1st. The next book I got is Reign of the Fallen, and this is about, I keep twitching, I'm sorry. This is about a necromancer, and that's all I know about it. I am very curious about this one, and I thought it sounded really good when I heard about it, but it's been a while since I looked at it, but I do know it's about necromancy. And the last book that I bought at Barnes & Noble is The Wicker King. And from what I understand, this is about a guy who's got a mental illness, and as he slips into his mental illness, the pages get darker. So the darker the page, the more he's slipped into his mental illness. Other than that, I'm not sure about any of it. I just thought it was a pretty book, and the idea of it being about a mental illness intrigued me, and the fact that the page color reflects his attitude and his sanity intrigued me even more. So next I have a box from Book Outlet. It's not a very big box. It was a little bit pricier because there is cookbooks in here. I went through a stint a couple of months ago where I got bored with our food. So I went out and bought some cookbooks. I bought 3 from Barnes & Noble that you guys have already seen, and I bought these ones which just showed up today. Actually, I went and picked them up from the post office today. Okay, so we have a receipt, we have paper, and I'm going to start with the cookbooks and end with the normal books. The first cookbook I got is Chloe's Vegan Desserts. Chloe has 2 or 3 other books, and I have all of them. Her cooking is amazing. She has her own restaurant, and I really want to go try her food out because everything I've tried out of her cookbooks is really good, and this is just desserts. I thought it sounded yummy. The next thing I got is Raw Vegan Not Gross, and she is a YouTuber, and her YouTube name is like the same as the cover, Raw Vegan Not Gross, and not everything on her YouTube channel is raw. And I don't think all of this is raw either. I just think it's a decent amount of raw versus cooked. And I think it's always a good idea to have as much fresh fruits and vegetables as possible. And I thought that something like this would be really beneficial. Plus, everything I've tried from her YouTube channel was really good. So I figured I would grab the book too. The last actual cookbook I got was Thug Kitchen. Okay, so this one is hilarious. This is again all vegan, and it is kind of like a carnivore's vegan cookbook. and she swears a lot in it. She's really snarky. The only default to this one is there's not a lot of pictures. There is some pictures, but there's not a ton of pictures. But everything that I've made out of this cookbook was really good. I checked it out from the library when I first became vegan years and years ago, and I thought that it would be a lot of fun to buy it again, especially because I found it on Book Outlet for a really decent price. So I finally have my own version of Thug Kitchen now. The last cookbook-ish, but not quite cookbook book is the tea book. And when I saw this one, I got really excited because I love blending my teas. So I like taking, my favorite was when Teavana would do like custom blends. So I used to go into Teavana and they'd have their big wall of teas, and I would ask them to mix me something. I would tell them what I like, what I don't like, the fact that I can't have oolong because it upsets my stomach. And which is funny, everything that's supposed to settle your stomach upsets mine. Peppermint upsets my stomach, ginger upsets my stomach, and oolong upsets my stomach. And those are all supposed to be things that settle a stomach, but I'm weird. But my favorite thing would be when they would go through and they would custom make me my own tea. And I really, really enjoyed that. I would tell them to be as creative as possible. They would give me all sorts of different blends. This is a book about teas, and it also gives you recipes on how to mix them and how else to use them outside of just teas. And so you have a section on matchas, which I just figured out how to make thanks to a tutorial on YouTube. You've got all sorts of different types of teas in here. It tells you all about them. This one's a black tea. It tells you where it comes from normally, what it tastes like, what mixes well with it. I thought this would be kind of just a fun informational book about tea for me. Now I have just a couple books, nothing super big. So the first book I have is Berserker. I actually had an arc of this that I never got around to reading, which I'm still hoping to. And I don't remember what it's about. I heard mixed things about it, whether it was good or not. It was one of the very first arcs I ever got. But I figured out it was like 99 cents. So I went ahead and I bought it, and I am very curious about it. The next book I got is The Shadow of the Wind. And I've heard wonderful things about this book. It's an adult book. Wow, it's got really small writing. It's an adult book, and I don't remember what it's about. The back says Barcelona in 1945, a city slowly heals from its war wounds, and Danielle, an equestrian book dealer's son who mourns the loss of his mother, finds solace in the mysteries of a book entitled, oh, that's right. So it's, he finds a book called The Shadow of the Wind and finds out that that is the last book of that book because they're being systematically destroyed or something. I thought it sounded really interesting, and I went ahead and grabbed it. And the last thing I got was another Rainbow Rowell book. This is Landlines. I think this is one of her adult books. I have not read a single book from her yet, but yet I keep buying them thinking that I'm gonna like them. So hopefully I like Rainbow Rowell because I keep buying her books. And I'm not really sure what this one's about, but I do think this is an adult book, not a YA. But that's it for my tiny little book haul. I cannot believe that I have such a small book haul. But I've been trying really hard to be good, so I have money for my trip, and I can almost guarantee I'm gonna buy books while I'm gone. So watch for the vlogs, and I will probably do some sort of an unhaul. I am thinking about taking a box of books with me to the States to sell back to half-price books or give to a library or something. I'd probably give them to my local library if I knew for a fact that half-price books wouldn't take them. So I'm kind of torn here. I think I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go through my books, and the ones that I'm fairly certain will sell, I'll take with me, and the ones I'm fairly certain won't sell, I'll just leave here and donate. So that's it for this haul, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.